hear ye, good people of Toulouse, and rejoice, as it shall be hereby proclaimed that your king, Enric the Good of House de Villeron, has been elevated into the realm of legend. His fame is known throughout the lands, from Andalusia to Paris, and even in the Holy Roman Empire and the holy city of Rome itself men speak, be it in barn or corridors of power, of King Enric of Toulouse. Rejoice, for Toulouse is beheld and envied across the lands, as it has surpassed in splendor the capitals of the lands, all but Rome itself, which shines yet brighter in the Lord's grace. Let it be proclaimed that King Enric is the true heir of Charlemagne, and by law and the will of God the rightful ruler of all Francian lands. Rejoice, people of Francia, for the darkness is fading, and a challenger arises to smite the evil that has plagued us since the generation of our forefathers, and he shall fulfill the Lord's will and reunite us. Look towards the light of Toulouse for salvation. And thus, a new era is upon us, where King Enric the Good of Toulouse is going to see if he can restore, at least in parts, the empire of Francia, which is his ancestral right, and spread the light from Toulouse towards the rest of the oppressed people. Now, there is the minor problem of military might, because in the end, as he is a challenger, he will be up against King Benoit the Craven of France, who has, together with his allies, almost 12,000 men under his command, and Duke Arnaud the Lecher of Brittany, who has about 5,000 men. Now, he may have 5,000 men, but he does not have... his allies have a fair amount of very capable men-at-arms at their disposal, which means Toulouse needs to rearm somewhat. And we still have a men-at-arms slot, plus we have the current men-at-arms, obviously, that can still be improved in size. Now, somebody's going to have to pay for that, but we are starting to have a sizable income. So one thing that I am potentially looking at are the two retinues, because we have, if we're looking at our accolades, I'm not sure which one it was. It's not the Valiant Stalwart. It's, is it this one? This one, Vanguard Tactician. I think that one gives me the infantry retinue, and the other one, King's Beast of the Plains, is giving me the heavy cavalry retinue. So we've got two. So we've got the retinue Vanguard, which is a 7765 compared to the 7445, but the Huskarls are still better at screening. So they have their value in that, and it's not a massive difference. So I don't think we need those. The retinue Lancers, however, these have a value of 250, 112 compared to 195, 52, and they have a pursuit of 60. In comparison, the light horse have a pursuit of 36. So the retinue Lancers are significantly better than the heavy cavalry we currently employ, but we could put them out on top and make because they are very, very expensive. So a single group of 50 costs 1.7 gold per month. So that is a major expense. So we'll be looking at probably at Brittany as the first target, Duke Arnaud the Lecher, but we'd still have to contest with a fair amount of men-at-arms on the enemy side, plus a fair amount of knights as well. So right now we're on stewardship, and we have to wait for 3 more years until we can shift that back into martial. So we'll continue with how things are going, but I might I might do a few on the avaricious side if it comes to that. I'm not sure if there's anything here that would really... this would give us 20% levy contribution from the vassals, but we do want to fight this without having massive losses. So there is there's a bit... the fearful troops might not actually be a bad one, so we might actually go down this side here, because that's going to give us improved income while we are at war, plus the maintenance, and I think my dread is 15, yeah. So that would be 7.5% lower maintenance. So that's something we could do. Alternatively, also, yeah, the defensive measures are probably good. Levy reinforce popular opinion. Popular figurehead might also be useful. So a fair few things we can still do until I am going to switch back to martial. At which point, I think the important ones here is never back down in household guard, because the 4 additional knights would be huge. We have man's home enduring hardship be good. Prepared conscription would also be pretty useful. So I'm not planning to go for mercenaries, but there'd be some useful things here to do as well. So for now, the focus is on building up the country, and in the end, this is all not for oppression, but for liberation of the people who have been plagued since the days of Charlemagne by an evil in these lands that has its tendrils everywhere, and they are suffering under people like the Craven King. I'm not quite certain. One thing that might be quite useful, because the king's son, Prince Eudes of France, so the king is in good health. But the king's son, Eudes of France, is a bit of an idiot. He is known to be not particularly bright. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean much, because he's not going to lead his own armies. He's got people for that. But it might be interesting to exploit such a situation. However, first of all, we will be dealing with. The Duke of Brittany, probably, who has some who's got some rumors about not keeping it in his pants, and his son is relatively qualified. So getting this out of the way before he goes, that would be an interesting one. So. That said, we're still constructing a few things here and there, and anything that will significantly improve the income is obviously much welcome. But and we are we're promoting the Toulousian culture in Montpellier as well at the moment. We could always get 14% more taxes by using our steward. So I think all in all we'd be in quite a good position. And my current marshal knows what he's doing. He's got excellent skills. So I think if we can raise a few more troops, we'll be in a good position to begin taking on Brittany and liberating the first part of the Frankian Empire. With this new development, we have changed somewhat the focus of things for now, because King Enric the Good is now not just responsible for Toulouse, but he feels responsible for the peoples of Francia in general, whose lands have been fractured and whose welfare has been squandered under the Craven King. As such, it might be prudent to switch our steward towards collecting taxes, because that's going to be another 14.5% income, and I think that's what we'll do. Yeah, that is a significant improvement, and I think there was a perk as well. Yeah, so we're probably going to get the taxman perk first, and then see if we can get down the avaricious path. Alternatively, yeah, there are a few here that I would really like to have before we start, but we'll have to see how soon we can actually begin creating the men-at-arms regiments, because they are incredibly expensive. So for comparison, if I was to increase that, that would actually be cheaper. Now, it's actually a question, because they cost almost double that the regular armored horsemen cost. So how much better are they? So they're 250 over 195, 100. They're better on defense and on pursuit, definitely. But I think in the end, the armored horsemen are probably going to be doing almost double the damage per coin, simply because they are they're more cost effective in that regard, because the retinue lances are just incredibly expensive. So that's one consideration. The other thing is obviously the construction of military buildings, and Toulouse has never been much of a warlike kingdom, but we will do what we can, and the rest will depend on the skill of our commanders, our knights, and our soldiers. Someone is plotting once more to murder my bodyguard, Bernard Ezi. I wonder who that is. He is not getting along well with my sister over political matters. So it could be Princess Navarre, actually, who's behind this. But we definitely must stop the villain. We'll see if that. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on it. I can always redouble the guards, which is going to lower the success chance if it gets above 0% before Peronella can find out what's going on. Delicate matters these are indeed. So we'll build up the coffers, and then we will see if we can increase our numbers a little. I don't want to do it too soon, because it simply means that we have to pay extra for the unstationed men-at-arms. And more bad news. Someone is plotting to murder my seneschal, Otakar, who has he done wrong? Does he? Oh, he has many enemies. He has many enemies, including my marshal, who he got into a fight with, and Count Pierre Bernard the Silent of Carcassonne as well. So my seneschal, honorable as he is, has many. He's a friend of the Queen and of Princess Juliana. So he's a close friend of the family as well. So another scheme that we have to discover. But this will be the task of my sister going forward. Flayn, my acclaimed knight and champion, has become infirm in his old age, and he has not been blessed with children from his wife, who was my court chronicler. So that means probably that one of the accolades. No, he still holds the head knight of Toulouse, but one of the accolades probably is going to have to switch once he's out. But that means he can no longer act as in his capacity as my personal champion. So I'm sure we will have somebody. We will have enough. I think Ludwig, my brother-in-law, would make a great personal champion, and that gives him more opportunity to train more as well. So we could once things come to blows, we could get our royal architect to begin fortifying the lands, which is going to increase the fortification level significantly. However, we do need to prepare some coin before that. And we have a new stewardship perk. I'm going to get Taxman first. I'm not entirely certain I need to go down avaricious still, or otherwise I switch to martial already, because I think we can switch relatively soon. Can we already switch? No. We are 1 year away, so we can probably get one more perk. But this has increased, further increased the amount of taxes that we're getting. So that's been useful. My son, Prince Adalbert of Toulouse, is learning many languages, and he is, how old is he? 13. He's going to be coming of age soon enough. So have him study the Iberian language as well. That can, knowing additional languages can always just be beneficial. Despite her progressing age, Queen Valence is once again pregnant with child, and I do hope that everything will go all right. So Ulrike, please take good care of her, because once again she bears my child. And we have a message from message from the King of Sicily, who wishes to arrange a betrothal between his sister and Prince Adalbert of Toulouse. What do we know about the sister? She's a bit arrogant, but she is a good woman. This would give us potentially an alliance with Sicily, who could contribute to the war effort. However, I think I will leave this to my son, because the arranged marriage system has brought nothing but pain to our family in the past, and as such is somewhat frowned upon here. I have sat down with my marshal, Godofredo de Guyenne, and we have begun making plans. First of all, his training of the troops is significantly improving their skills in battle. And we are planning to, if we are to take Brittany, we have to assault from the east. We are going to take Roajon Castle, and then march from there straight towards Gwynedd Castle, the king's enemy kingdom's capital, and attempt to decapitate the enemy forces. On the ground, the biggest problem that we will be facing is the large number of both armored footmen and riders. Fighting in the forests in Roison would somewhat negate that, but the capital is in the plains near the coast, so that would be significantly harder, which means we will mostly have to improve the number of pikemen that we have available to us, and overall ensure probably the number of mangonels as well, to speed up the siege process and make our way through relatively quickly. We shall need a fair amount of coin to conduct this warfare, especially that we are facing a very, very large threat from Captain Gabriella the Wolf Slayer and her troop, which brings in a large number of armored footmen and very capable cavalry as well. My cousin, Shaika Elodie bint Elodie of Saman, who's married to the Sheikh of Saman, has once again created a new branch of the house, and it is called House Elodie, with a very interesting motto of "Conquest is peace." That sounds certainly interesting. So if we're looking at our dynasty tree, and we'll expand that sufficiently, then she is the daughter of my late aunt, Duchess Elodie, and she has not followed the Villeron-Gaza path, but she has created a new branch of the House Elodie, which is very interesting, because from what I see, her daughters are actually of a different house, House Schwinka. So their father was Captain André of the Free Company of Pospolite, who has eaten himself to death by the looks of it. So yeah, there goes the obscure branch of the de Villeron family, but King Enric is more concerned with the situation in France itself. My presence is requested at the royal court, so let's see what is going on here. Lately, I can't help but notice the goggles of giggling maidens and usually austere warriors gathering in dark alcoves to listen, enraptured to a book. Today, I have finally cornered Philip with a book in his hands. There are pages upon pages of poetry, graceful in form, but lascivious in nature. The angelic beauty of all sorts of women is exalted by gentle words which can barely cover the poet's very earthly desire. I am silent while I ponder the probable reaction of Archbishop Bernhard, and Philip stares at me in apprehension. I have begun reading Warhammer 40k, so Purify Them with Fire sounds very tempting. This would be... okay. Let's see. Make it disappear and I'll pretend I didn't see anything. Would give us 50 piety. We could get some intrigue lifestyle and the confident lover for 15 years, but make my archbishop rather unhappy. I could get some learning lifestyle experience, but that would make the children more curious, which I wouldn't mind too much. However, lustful and cynical are considered sinful by the church, and the alternative would be to purify them with fire, 30 dread for book burning, and no, I think I'll just... I fully understand what it is that you old men, you are 72 years old, that you old men are fantasizing about, but make it disappear, and I'll pretend I saw nothing. With Queen Valence's diligent administration of my household's finances, there is more gold at the end of the season than expected. So, how should we best use it? I think we should save it, because we have an army to build. We could get increased defenses, which... okay, that's just for schemes. We could get improved development in Toulouse, but development is kind of stalling a little bit. Or we could host a magnificent dinner party. No, let us save it, I believe. Well done, my very pregnant wife. And this will be used towards building up our men-at-arms. So if we are to take on Brittany with the forces at hand, things are going to get rather difficult. While out on a leisurely stroll, the cry of a particular merchant stands out from the regular hustle and bustle of the street. "Greetings, my lord. I have an exquisite assortment of wares, if my lord has the coin. I don't have the coin. I will have... I am looking to deal with the situation of our armed forces. We could get some free stewardship experience, but there's a good chance that the merchant outwits me. I am going to pay something in any case. No, let's just move on. I am not of interest. And we could commission a legendary artifact for 800. Yeah, no. No coin for that right now. We are looking to liberate Brittany from the clasp of Duke Arnold the Lecher. Just as our coffers fill, I am informed that once again I will be required to hold court and to exercise our authority. So once again I shall be doing that. Unfortunately, that hearing the petitioners generally means that somebody wants a coin from me. Sitting on my throne, I gesture for my guards to open the doors of the hall. Who's first in line? The mayor of Castle-Sarrazin approaches me with a straighter posture than usual and visibly eager about what he has to say. My liege, the people in your realm need the occasional joyous gathering where they can forget their stresses. I would gladly finance a feast, even if held under your name, as it's for the good of the Toulouse. However, I would, the Toulousians, I think, is what he meant. Though I would duly expect a favor in recompense. Let's see. So, I will. He can give me 200 coin, assuming that I will hold a feast. Alternatively, I could ask him to give up on that, but he could also be. He could also be rather annoyed, or we could just outright reject it. Holding a feast for the good people of Toulouse is probably not a terrible idea. However, can I check that right now? How much would that cost? Because I have the yeah, that is mildly. If I were to do that in Toulouse, that could, well, it's not that much more than 200. So yes, maybe we shall have a feast after all. So let's get back to the situation at hand. Very well, I accept. He gets a weak hook on me, pays me 200 coin, and we will be holding a feast in Toulouse. Count Jacques comes forward. He is the Count of Béziers, apprehensively escorted by his wife Clotilda, who seems in bad temper. She spouts up, "My lord, Mayor Vision is trying to seduce..." Seriously. He is not even into that sort of thing. He's to seduce my husband, an affront to God. He has never liked me. It must be him. Jacques is clearly embarrassed to have his aired so publicly and can barely bring himself to meet my eyes. No, most definitely not. I doubt. How about the wife? Yeah, she may be pregnant, but I think her vengeful and paranoid nature is coming through here. So yeah. If you have no proof, woman, you cannot just come around and get me question a good God-fearing man. Out of your own vindictiveness. Before me stands an unfamiliar man. Apparently, he is Ademar, the mayor of in my vassal Count Pierre Bernat's domain. My king, I come here without the permission of my lord to ask that you grant my city Narbonne the surrounding lands to govern as it sees fit. We could manage our own affairs and bring great prosperity to the kingdom if we were only free of the stifling taxes and responsibilities imposed by the counts. So I could, that would be an act of tyranny, however. I could get him to pay me for the act of tyranny. Everybody would be rather unhappy with me. But I think, this is a difficult decision, actually. So he would, the county of Carcassonne would be revoked from the count, and it would become a republic. Okay, so basically a free merchant city ruled by its own citizens. So that would make the count and every glory hound vassal, rather, of which there is one. Is that himself? I will actually know. He's a feudal vassal, I think. I will have to double check. So that would make one person angry. Or I could reject them, which would make the parochial vassals rather angry, of which I have two. Or I could I don't think these are considered acts of tyranny. So I think we will reject this for now. Or we could ask... we could ask for coin. Coin is in dire need at the moment, and we would have the mayor. He is the chancellor. What kind of person is he? He is an evil blackguard. No, I don't trust him. I will disappoint you. This is not happening. And with that, my business is done, and we have gained some grandeur and legitimacy at the court. And coin never has swayed me to forgo the principles. However, we do need to hold a feast in Toulouse in order to in order to... Where's the feast? Oh, here. We do need to hold a feast in Toulouse in order to get... to fulfill our promise, because that is something we... keeping our word as the good king is something we should be doing. Who can we invite as the honorary guest? I believe we do this in honor of my queen, because she has been suffering through much while I was away in foreign lands, and we'll see if we can get the price down a little bit. So with that, yeah, I think well, we'll make better food, but we can do it with one course. So let us begin the feast. And the servants run across the hall, bringing the final decorations. Oh, some of the guests are yet to arrive, and I indulge myself with a delicious drink by the fire. Okay, we have a lovely time ahead of us. Meanwhile, the Queen has improved the education of Princess Matilda of Toulouse. Let's have actually a quick look. Is anything we can still do with the... we've got some language studying to do. Yep. And whatever language we have at court, it is always good for the children to study additional languages. My wife, very pregnant by now, and has been with child for 8 months, so she may actually, well, you have to forgo the drink for the time being, but she may actually give birth before things kick off. Meanwhile, Guillaume seems to have been having a difficult time at our latest feast. He sneaked out early and was not seen for the entire rest of the evening. Yeah, impatient is, I believe, a trait that runs in the family. We could get him shy or gluttonous, but I think we'll stick with the impatient trait, as this, like I said, does run in the family. While we are awaiting the guest, Valence has given birth to twins. We've got Prince Alderic of Villeron and Princess Petronila of Toulouse. Prince Alderic of Toulouse and Princess Petronila. So 2 more children to look after. I believe we were going to have to find some wards for them. So we'll get probably one of my knights. We get Bernard Easy to look after him. And the princess, we will probably, we will see, maybe maybe Ulrike. Where's Ulrike? There she is. She can teach her a thing or two. So we get them educated. I do not want to stress the queen any further. She doesn't have any wards at this point, but I do not wish her to have any further stress from things. At the ripe old age of 70 years, my mother has died. The Queen Mother, Eleanor of Toulouse, has joined my father in the afterlife at the exact same age that he was when he died. She has been a great boon to this family, and she has been my confidant for many years, and an honorable woman to boot, showing the best of the French culture. Which means that now, with that, we'll leave the feast for the next episode. We'll just have to find a new royal architect. And we have actually a fair few people who we can get to do this. And they're all excellent. So who do we have? We've got Adelheid, one of the wife of one of my knights. We've got Scholastica, the wife of Gonzalo, my master of the horse. Yeah, I think she would make a good architect. She's a very bright woman. Alternatively, we could get my queen to do it as well, but she has enough responsibilities with the children. Princess Juliana is already busy, and I think with that, although no, the queen did not have the architect's trait. No, we get Scholastica to do it. There we go. And with that, we are indeed once again complete, as complete as we are going to be. So the feast is just awaiting one more guest, and then it shall be held in the honor of Queen Valence of Toulouse, before once again we embark on... Oh, I think the situation has just changed. I was about to say we embark on yet another endeavor to liberate Brittany, but it seems that the Burgundians under King Benoit the Craven have beaten us to it and have defeated the local king and taken over the kingdom. With that, France is once more on an expansionist path, and now we have to not look at Brittany, but we have to look at France itself. And I think that's where the situation would come in when the son of the king takes over the realm, because he is not the brightest. His wife is the executioner. I can see who wears the trousers in that family, and to cut off certain bits of him if he misbehaves. But that would be an opportunity for us to potentially take on France. Now, we have talked as much as we dislike alliances. We have talked to King Hermenegild the Worthy of Aragon, and his primary heir is his family in general is a noble one. So I don't know if any of his children is not yet married, but we could do a betrothal, at least for now, to secure an alliance with Aragon against the Kingdom of France. However, they do not have a large number of troops available to them. They're actually embroiled in wars in the Andalusian continent, and if we do not wish to join this, then this is probably not the greatest idea. The Holy Roman Empire would be once more one we could deal with, but I am not getting anybody married into that house, because the Holy Roman Empire is a den of depravity. So Toulouse may have to go it alone.